Hundreds of Victorian volunteer firefighters have rallied demanding better access to compensation if they develop cancer. They say the international evidence that they face a higher disease risk is clear, and the government needs to bring them into line with their professional counterparts.
Small businessman and Victorian volunteer firefighter Goullet was diagnosed with a non-curable cancer last year.
That particular leukaemia normally strikes older people, but I believe that due to the exposures that I've had as a volunteer, that's contributed to me contracting it at the age I am currently at.
But his bid for workers' compensation was rejected.
They don't talk to you about it. You lodge your paperwork. It took 5 months and then they denied the claim, and there's no appeal process.
The 48-year-old says under presumptive federal laws, as well as in 3 other states, his claim would have been automatically accepted. International studies have shown that the risk for firefighters of developing certain cancers is up to 100% greater than for those in other professions. Volunteers from stations in Melbourne's fire-prone Outer East have rallied, calling on Victoria to accept the link and pay up.
The study's in, the science is in. We don't need any more studies. You're running into the fire when I'm running away from it. You're there to protect me, so I've got to be there to protect firefighters. And
with toxic materials increasingly prevalent in fires, even with breathing apparatus, dangers are ever present.
There's always going to be something there that you're going to breathe in with any structure fire, with any bushfire.
The Victorian government says it has simplified the cancer claim process. It won't rule out presumptive legislation and will continue to consider the evidence.
We don't get paid. We're out there all the time, 24/7. We're the last line of defence in fires.
For Goullet, recognition would bring peace of mind.
If I do succumb to the cancer, there's some compensation available to help my family.
Gareth, Boreham, SBS World News.
Back home now, and Victorian firefighters have rallied today against what they say is an unfair system of compensation for cancer sufferers in their ranks. They say an assessment system put in place less than a year ago is failing firefighters, particularly volunteers. Karen Percy reports.
Cancer is a worrying prospect for Victoria's 60,000 past and present firefighters. Hundreds of them rallied today to demand a fairer and simpler system for cancer compensation.
Real people, real faces who are suffering, who cannot get the protection they deserve because of a bureaucratic and legalistic and unfair compensation arrangement.
Last year, the government introduced a new assessment process which requires firefighters to establish a causal link between their cancer and their jobs. After more than 4 decades fighting fires, volunteer Tony O'Loughlin is being treated for throat cancer.
And I have got very little energy as it is, and now to have to sit down and actually put a case to a panel. It's just too much.
These men and women want Victoria to adopt so-called presumptive laws in line with Western Australia, South Australia and Tasmania, which presume a link between firefighting and 12 kinds of cancer. For mother and daughter Jess and Sharon Merritt, firefighting is a family affair.
We go into house fires that do have asbestos plus other harmful chemicals.
I don't want to get any health problems, and I think it's really important for my family that they're looked after if I do.
Volunteer Fire Brigades Victoria has started a petition to lobby the government for a fairer compensation system. It wants to gather thousands of signatures in the hopes that such pressure in an election year will bring Victoria in line with other states. The government says it hasn't ruled out changing the law, but says the new assessment system is fair. Karen Percy, ABC News, Melbourne.